Everybody, welcome to another daily devotion. Good to have you with us. My name is Dave, and we launch these on Saturday mornings. And then we turn them into a podcast called Devotions Made Easy, and you can check all that out on my website over at davepettigrew.net. And it's good to be here. If you want to get involved in our ministry and in the worship and all that's going on, head over to joindavesband.com, and you can get involved. It's a good way to do it. But we launch these on Saturdays so we can kind of hang out a little bit in Scripture, in the Word, understand it a little more, and then just maybe meditate on it for a little while, right? It's a good way to start the weekend. So today, we've got this little section inside of our membership area called Daily Dose of Worship. And they're just daily devotions that we send to your email inbox every single morning. And so they come at 6 a.m. and then it's a great way to just kind of start the day and just spend some time in the Word, right? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you're starting your day with. It's a great way to start the day. So I thought today I was just looking through some of them, and this one kind of popped out at me, and it's just Psalm 1. And I literally wrote the psalm and then just at the end of it just said, take a minute and read it again. And so I'm just going to read Psalm 1, and then maybe we'll talk about it a little bit, and then maybe it's just a moment where you guys just meditate on Psalm 1 today. You know, I'm going to take a minute and do that as well. So here's what it says. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by the streams of water that yield its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. The wicked are not so, but they are like chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. And I've gotten comments on this psalm before, and I know a lot of people that actually love this psalm, and I love it. The one thing that stands out to me a little bit is about, I want to say 3 or 4 verses in, his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He's like a tree planted by streams of water that yield its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. So a while back, I think during the pandemic, I was doing a devotion, and a lot of times when I do these devotions, I walk, hold my camera out like this and kind of talk to it, and I was walking down by a river in a park down the road from me. And there's another passage in Jeremiah that has this same type of reference. And this idea of, here it is. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. So when you're a tree planted by a river, you don't really have to worry too much about surviving, because what you need is right there, right? There's this tree sitting by a river. The roots grow deeply into the ground, and the river, there's always water coming through and bringing life to those roots, and then that water, which is life to those roots, gets sucked into the roots and then sucked ultimately up into the tree as it continues to flourish and grow. And its leaves shall not wither, because it always has this life coming into it. And the idea of this is really, really powerful, because if you think about it, where do we get our life from? Yes, food, water, sleep, shelter, all of that stuff is part of our life, but our true spiritual life and what fills our souls and fills our hearts is not all of that stuff. It's good. I'm not knocking it. It's awesome, actually. But it's spending time with Jesus that truly gives us life. And so there's a little bit of a little explanation here. Maybe we can just read a little bit of this. But a tree by a river has a continual source of water, right? It'll never wither away because it's always getting what it needs. If we are constantly needy, it may be worth examining if we are planted by the rivers of water or not, right? This would also be a tree that is strong and stable, sinking deep, deep down into its roots. The life of the righteous man is marked by strength and stability. Just throwing this out there, okay? The righteous man bears fruit, such as the fruit of the Spirit, right? Galatians 5:22 and 23. Do you guys want to just read that really quickly? Sure. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such there is no law. The fruit comes naturally from this tree because it's planted by the rivers of water, right? It's not like it has everything it's need. It's getting all the water it needs, and it's struggling to bear fruit. No, that's not the case. The tree naturally bears the fruit. It's abiding in its life source. Wow, that is great. It is abiding in its life source. It lives in the source of life. As Jesus spoke of bearing fruit in John 15:5, as we abide in him, right? Abide in me. I'm the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me, in him bears much fruit. Without me, you can do nothing, right? Fruit also has a season. Some get discouraged when they begin to walk as righteous men, and fruit is not immediately evident. They need to wait until they bring forth fruit in its season. A guy named Trapp says this: there are no barren trees in God's orchard, and yet they may have their fits of barrenness, as an apple tree sometimes does, and they will reflourish in the season. So we go through these seasons of bearing fruit, intense times of serving, and intense times. I mean, I'm going through it right now. I'm in the middle of this of a tour, 17 shows in 23 days. And I'm just seeing, like last night I was in Rhode Island, and I met this guy and had incredible conversation with him, and how he just loved the worship that I brought 18 months ago. He said, your set broke me. He said it was amazing. Something clicked in me as you were worshiping and leading us in worship. And I was like, dude, that was like 18 months ago. He said, yeah. He said, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And I was like, wow. So, we have these seasons where things just happen. And I was actually recording a podcast for the Green Room podcast, which is something else you should check out. That's on my website. But it's basically what happens at every show, right? So I talk about the stories and just kind of a show recap. And I was talking about this guy and his conversation with me. And then I was just thinking about it, and I was like, man, you never know how God's going to use. We have these tiny little offerings that we give, and you never, ever know how God's going to use it or when he's going to use it, right? Like this show was 18 months ago, and here I am 18 months later having a conversation with this guy and hearing how over the past 18 months things have changed dramatically for him. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Brown, dead, withered leaves are signs of death and dryness. The righteous man does not have these signs of death and dryness because his leaves are green and alive, because he's always near the source of life, right? It isn't that the righteous man has a Midas touch and everything he does makes him rich and comfortable. But in the life of a righteous man, God brings forth something good and wonderful out of everything. Even tough circumstances bring forth something that shall prosper. So take a minute today, just hang in Psalm chapter 1. Let me just read it again. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. The wicked are not so, but are like chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. Psalm 1, 1-6. It's good stuff. So, where are your roots? Do you plant yourself by the source of life in your life? That will be the question for today. Amen. Thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. If you want to join us, please do head over to joindaysband.com. You can get involved in our monthly membership program where we have devotions like this, daily devotions that I send out every day in an email, Bible studies that happen just about every week, pre-recorded Bible studies. There's a library of them. There's worship videos in there. There's 20 albums to download. It's just an incredible place. And the best part is that when you join, the first few dollars of your membership goes straight to helping us sponsor a child. So we give a kid food, clothing, clean water, and healthcare. We've sponsored 15 kids. 15? Yeah, 15 kids so far. And we're just looking to sponsor more. So when you join, that helps us continue to see lives changed. Sound good? Yeah. Head over to joindaysband.com today to get involved. Can't wait to see you there. Okay. Go hang out in Psalm 1 today and let it be a part of your day. All right? Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.